Hello everyone, welcome back to Forged in Lego and the finale of building the invisible hand. I started this about 3 months ago in December, and it's taken me 5 weeks of actual work to finish it. I took a couple breaks in between, but it was about 5 weeks of putting bricks together. And as you can see, I've got a couple new things in here. I've got two Jedi Interceptors and a Vulture Droid, which are brand new for this video. I've got a revamped hangar bay. Stay tuned for that if you've been following this series. And I've lined up all the minifigs that are going to be inside the ship or outside of it. So let's take a look at those minifigs and then get into the ship. And first up, we've just got a little custom build for a Buzz Droid. And starting out, we've just got a little custom build for a Buzz Droid. Get that to focus. And he's just a little simple build. I had to make it really small to scale with all the other ships. And we'll take a look at those pretty soon. Next up, we've just got a Droideka. This is a pretty standard Droideka, except I added those speeder bike parts on the back. And of course, we've got our standard R2 and Anakin from this Jedi Interceptor from 2005. It's looking a little worse for wear right now, but he still works. And next up, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not much special here. He just came in his most recent Starfighter. And he's got one of the more resilient lightsabers with the new silver color. And here we have Chancellor Palpatine. This is actually using, I think his name is Admiral Pride's body, and a head from a Harry Potter character. And this Count Dooku, he's just using a Knight of Ren body and Old Ben's head. And of course, here we have General Grievous. I just got this from Bricklink not too long ago. And he's just got a cape from one of the Royal Guards. It fits on him, but it likes to slide around a lot, and it's not fixed in there all secure. But it looks a whole lot nicer than him without it. And now we move on to the crew of the ship. Sorry about that. We just have two Nemoidians, the captain and one of the crew members. And they just use generic bodies from a Harry Potter character and a TIE fighter pilot. Got some custom Magna Guards because the actual ones are very expensive and I don't have that kind of budget. And they're just a really simple build, but they get the job done. Got a commander battle droid, 3 security battle droids, 3 pilot battle droids, 1 regular battle droid, and 2 super battle droids. Those are all pretty standard, so I'm not going to go too much into them. And now with the minifigs out of the way, we can take a look at these ships. Each of these can fit into the hangar of the ship, and I'll show you that later once we get into the hangar. But they're just some little tiny ships that you can fly around, and yes, these do fit minifigs. So if I just get Obi-Wan right here and sit him down in there, his hands have to be at a specific angle too for the canopy to close, but he fits in there just like that. And of course the same goes for Anakin. So just pop this open and put them in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the wing tip things to open up. I really wish I could, but there's just not a lot of space. These barely fit in the hangar as is, so I wasn't able to do that. And last but certainly not least, we have the Vulture Droid. Now this has all its legs or wings or whatever they are all on ball joints, so it can deploy into this walking stance. And the head can also lift up. It's on those droid arms. But if you fold the head down and fold the wings back into its flying mode, it's ready to go. And now we can take the buzz droid that I showed off earlier and the head of R2 and a little bit of lightning, and we can have R2 fight the buzz droids on top of Anakin's ship. And here's the whole ship. It's about 2 inches short of 3 feet, or 34 inches if you want to be specific. Well, first let's go over the exterior of the ship from front to back. Up here at the front we've got this little nose thing. Not really sure what that is, but it's a fun little thing to add in. We've got the control bridge right here. And you can see that this section right here is all studded, and that's intentional, has a different texture to the smooth black. You can tell that there's a different texture right here. I'm not sure what it actually is in universe, but it's fun to add in. You can also see the little bump on the bottom here, right here, in dark bluish gray. And that has a function in it that I'll show you later. Up on the top, we've got a bunch of antennae. And this right here is the communications array that is in the classic Star Wars Battlefront 2 that you would have to destroy as one of the objectives. And I believe this is the targeting control bridge that is also one of the objectives in the classic Star Wars Battlefront 2. A little bit further back, we can see Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi interceptors being chased by this Vulture droid back here. And if we just move those guys out of the way, they're just on some clear stands. We can see the exterior of the ship. Got the engines back here, that little lip down there. And we can also see the stands that this whole thing rests on. We've got this little pod at the bottom, which I'm using as a stand. And we've got this front section right here, which is reinforced by a couple more beams from the last time you saw it. But no matter what configuration it's in, with the front on or off, it still all balances between these two stands. And the ship weighs about 10 pounds, so they have to be incredibly strong to hold up all that weight. And up here we can see the tower that Count Dooku uses to hold Chancellor Palpatine prisoner. And that's just at the top of the spire. And back here we have the engines, and these have the covers that, or the emergency booster engines. I'm not sure really what they are, but they come out and they cover all three engines. Let's take a closer look at this hangar. We've got the guns protecting the hangar on either side. If you've ever played the classic Battlefront 2, you'll know how annoying those are. And if you see this gear right here, this controls the hangar door. And sometimes it gets a little stuck, so you just gotta put a little bit more force into it. But that door comes all the way across. And closes up. And you can do the same in reverse to open it back up. You can see this support right here, which is off at a 45-degree angle, and that was really necessary to get the gear rack in there to work correctly. If you want to see how this all works, check out week 1 of my Building the Invisible Hand series. It's all buried in there now. It's a little hard to show you, but it's a little easier to open it up. And now I can show you that the Vulture droid can fit right in there. And I'm going to push them all the way through so I can fit more ships into the hangar. And one of the Jedi starfighters can fit into the hangar. And if we move up to the top of the ship, we can see how we can get in there as humans. So if we just move both of these to the side, you can see a little bit of the mechanism to open the doors. It works on both sides, and I can show you that later. But you can see Obi-Wan's Jedi starfighter in there. And here's a little bit of a better look inside the hangar, where I have posed up a couple of security battle droids and Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. You can see that I've upgraded the floor in this hangar. It used to be almost all studded with a couple stripes of the dark tan, but now it is almost completely studless. I've still got a couple studs in there so I can pose figures around like those droids, and stud the ships down so they don't fall out the sides. Speaking of the ships, I can fit both of the interceptors in there at the same time, and even have room to close the doors. So if I just get Obi-Wan's ship in here, stud it down, and then get Anakin's ship in here, and stud it down right here, you can see that both ships fit in pretty easily. And of course the Vulture droid can also fit, even when he's standing up. And we can put him through the door, even stand him up in there. And the tops of the hangar can even close on him. Looks like he just fell over there, but he's got a small base, so it makes sense. But you can see that hangar is closed, and he's still standing up in there. You can also see an R2 panel on the wall there. That is from the classic LEGO Star Wars video game. I know the Skywalker Saga is coming out in just a couple days, and I'm not sure if they'll have these sort of panels in there, but I hope they do. So R2 can just go up to that panel right there, and when he hits the panel, he calls the elevator. That wall just comes down, and now you can put a figure on there and send them up the shaft. And it's a little bit difficult to see, but you can fit both Jedi in there at the same time and send the elevator up. Oops, wrong way. And you'll see that a little bit better on the other side. But right now, let me show you how I activate that elevator. And just underneath the back of the ship, you can see this set of gears right here. And this is how I control the elevator. If you want to see the mechanism for that, just go to, I think it's week 2 or 3. I think it's 3. And you can see that whole mechanism exposed without all this plate detailing all around it. And heading to the back of the ship, to open this up, just grab this here and lift. The whole control bridge or tower lifts up. And these side panels lift up too. And there you can see Obi-Wan just coming up the elevator. And if we take a little bit of a closer look in there, we can see that this is the Chancellor's cell. And he's on a little chair in there. He's got his giant windows all around, and the staircase is up to where the elevator is. But it looks like Count Dooku has just sprung the trap, and he's coming up the elevator with his 2 super battle droids. And there you can see that area a little bit better. And here you can see that there is just enough room for Anakin to do it in front of Chancellor Palpatine in there. And now it's time for our heroes to head back down the elevator to try and find something in the hangar that's still flyable. But unfortunately, when they were gone, these 2 super battle droids made sure that the Jedi interceptors weren't going to fly again. R2 did manage to deal with them, but it was too late to save the ships. Also, while they're in the elevator, the invisible hand enters a broadside with a Republic ship and doesn't come out too hot. So, let's show you that broadside cannon, huh? We just open up this top panel and put down the side. And there's the cannon. This is, in my opinion, one of the best sounding guns in Star Wars, especially when it kicks out one of those shells. And you can see the shells feeding in from the top up here, and stacks all around of more shells. You'll notice that it has a spring-loaded shooter in the front, so you can load that up, turn it around, and it's got this black cone on the back, which is the actuator for the spring-loaded shooter. So you just tap that, and it shoots off. And here we have the hallway where our heroes famously get caught in a ray shield and captured by General Grievous. Not a whole lot of detail in this hallway, but it gets the job done. It's just big enough to fit the 3 figures. And there's not a whole lot much else in there. And of course, this right here is the scene where Grievous receives a fine addition to his collection from this very sarcastic battle droid commander right here. And pretty soon after, R2, who I couldn't really fit. I mean, maybe you can sit right here. There we go. Right before R2 throws a fit and battle starts breaking out up here on the bridge. And of course I've got the Magna Guard stationed here to jump into action the minute everything starts going crazy. And of course, just a couple seconds later, most of the people are gone, and it's just Anakin, Obi-Wan, Grievous, the Chancellor, and R2 left in the bridge. And General Grievous declares that General Kenobi loses, and breaks the window and jumps out. But Grievous needs a way to get back into the ship to launch all the escape pods. So after breaking out, he can just walk over here to this hatch right here. Open that up. And drop in. There we go. And we can close the hatch back up. You can also see these 1x1 studs over here, and those are actually the escape pods on the full-scale ship. But on this smaller scale ship, the escape pods are under the ship in the little bulge. Under here you can see this little dark gray protrusion coming out the bottom of the ship. And you'll notice that there's a silver stud right about here. And if you just pull that, the escape pod launches out. And of course that can fit General Grievous inside. But I first want to show you that it just easily resets just like that. Then you can launch it again. But let's open this up. Just focus. And you can see that General Grievous can fit in there pretty comfortably. He has one of the new style capes, so it folds up really nicely and you don't have to worry about it wrinkling. And now Anakin has to figure out how to fly the invisible hand, or at least what's left of it, in order to save himself and the Chancellor and Obi-Wan after all the escape pods were launched. And here you can get a better view of the rest of the bridge interior with these control panels that just came out in the new Clone Trooper Battle Pack, or Clone Trooper Command Station. But of course, this ship doesn't stay in one piece for very long. So, of course, it has to split in half. And to do that on this model, you just have to grab it securely under here, lift, and it just pulls out. And this is its own completely separate thing. It just hooks on with these hooks back here, which are very strong. And to put it back in, just slots in and locks down. Just like that. It's very simple, very easy, but it's extremely strong, and I don't feel like it's going to fall apart on me at all. You'll notice that there is no stand underneath the entire of the front part of this ship, and well, that just shows you how strong those hooks are. If I push on here, it'll lift up the back of the ship before it moves at all in these hook area. It's like a 1.5 feet from the stand to the tip of the ship. So it was really difficult getting the weight down up here to get it to balance properly. But I did end up having to expand that stand down there to get it to not fall over on me. And if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff to help it reach more people. And, well, that's about it.